Hey guys.
Alright folks, we're here today to check out the latest from the Halo Effect, Cruel Perception. Not Cruel Intentions, but Cruel Perception. Now, full disclosure, I've already listened to the whole album. I've had the album for a while now, so I've listened to the album. I already pre-recorded my review, so I know the song. You don't?
No.
But I've never seen the video. So I'm here for him and for me as far as the video is concerned. And for those of you that have been asking us to check out this song on the channel. So,
he's here for everybody.
yeah, and for Swedish Jesus too.
Of course. Well, he is part of everybody.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Like these days, literally, he's everywhere. But anyways, he made my top 10 albums of the year twice this year.
Oh, I mean,
you know, if he had released 3 albums this year, probably would have made it 3 times. So anyways, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's fucking check this out. Fuck, they should have gotten the other side of the statue. Just out of curiosity.
There are truths to conquer. There are fears to amplify. What is known and all we see is but a dark mirage. What we see, what we feel, further behind the veil. What is broken, what is gained, never reign when the night. There are ways to wander beyond the given path. There are dark encounters within the mind itself. A will to see, a will
right. So before we talk about the song, can I just mention three or four aesthetic things?
Sure.
Okay. First of all, I want to say I have the same Adidas as Jasper is wearing on that video.
Okay.
Exactly the same pair. So I feel like I'm one step
Closer to being in the band, I guess.
No, I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but I'm definitely one step closer to him. Exact same pair of Adidas.
What?
I wear them every fucking day. I love those. They're so comfortable. I absolutely love them.
If I'm at the base of a mountain, I'm one step closer from being at the top.
Yeah, I would say more than one step. I mean, if you're at the base, you're more than one step. By the way, if you see people that post pictures of them at the base of a mountain, the reason why they're doing that is because they never actually got to climb the mountain. Because if you made it all the way to the top, there's no way you're posting pictures at the bottom. You're posting the pictures at the top. You want to make sure everybody fucking knows you made it. Anyhow, so I wanted to say that same pair of Adidas. Second thing, I believe this was shot in Gothenburg, unless I got things wrong.
It said Gothenburg right there.
All right, perfect.
Like right at the start of the video when it showed the ass. But I guess you were too preoccupied.
Yeah, because I wanted to see.
ass.
No, there's a scene where they shoot the front, but it was so quickly. I have to go watch it on slow motion to see. I just want to compare because we all know that the Tampere dicks are really tiny,
But big balls.
but massive
Big
balls.
balls.
Like it's almost like those exercise bags where you can just like sit on them. It's good for your back, like you know. So anyhow, so they have those. I'm just trying to compare to see where the Swedes sit on it. Like where do they rank? I'm just curious.
Where they sit on it is crazy.
Okay, maybe that was not the right. That was not the right choice of words. So I wanted to mention that Gothenburg looks like a beautiful city. By the way, I would love to visit. It's definitely on my right now because this year, well, not this year, next year we're going to Denmark. It's the only Scandinavian country left for us to visit, Sweden. So I think we have to make a trip to Sweden at some point in time. So the city looks phenomenal. It has that. Almost like a little bit of a Baltimore vibe because it's a harbor. It has like this whole harbor feel to it, but it's still a great European style city. So I honestly I really like the vibes that I'm getting, and I love the scenery that they used for this video. What was the other thing I was going to mention? Fuck, now I'm drawing a little bit of a blank. So I mentioned the statue. I mentioned the Adidas. I mentioned this. I mentioned the city. I think I've covered all the things that I wanted to mention. I think I did. I think there's another one, but it'll come to me. Now, we can talk about the song. Go a little bit deeper into it. I gotta say, it's one of my favorite tracks on the album. I don't want to disclose too much about the record. You guys are gonna have to check out my album review that's coming out in the next couple of weeks because the album comes out January 10th. So
what a way to start off the year.
Exactly. The only issue that I fear. The album is going to be, I can tell you right now, it's better than the debut record. Like, not way better, but it's a better album than the debut record. A lot more concise as a record, and it offers some elements that we didn't see on the debut record, both musically and vocally. That's all I'm going to say. Now, my only concern is because it comes out January 10th, when people are putting together their top 10 albums of the year,
they're going to forget about it.
Man, it's going to be like back in the memory because January 10th, it's really early in the year. So
they're going to think about the album and be like, no, that came out last year.
I don't think the band cares, and when you're releasing an album, you honestly shouldn't really care because the whole top 10 list is more of a marketing thing. I made this top 10 list, that top 10 list. So anyways, it's just my only concern is that it might be a little bit forgotten come album of the year time just because of a January 10 release. So I just want to put that out there. But as far as what the album offers, nobody's going to be disappointed with this record. Now, I had obviously heard the song. Like I said, one of my favorites from the record.
But I haven't.
But you hadn't.
Until now.
So what do you think?
It's a really good song. I really enjoy this song. And I do feel like if I'm to compare it to the debut record, songs on the debut record, I feel like this one is how do I say it? It's smooth in the way where a lot of the last record, a lot of the songs, they had the chugginess and whatever, and although I like those songs that have intensity, I also enjoy the parts of the songs more where it's, you know, melodies looping together and creating this, you know, melodic, you know, sound. And this song, I was loving the portions were fucking great. And I think that I'm gonna enjoy, if the rest of the album is similar to this, I'm probably gonna enjoy this a little bit more. I think when it comes to mellow death in general, I'm very mellow, right? So I enjoy, of course, I enjoy like the harshness and the intensity, but I feel like you're going through that harshness and intensity just to get to those parts.
Now, one thing, I don't know if you would remember this, but one thing I said when we first check out the first two songs of the debut record, I mentioned that, man, the songs are really good, but fuck, where's the solo? I don't know if you remember that conversation.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I griped a little bit about the fact that the songs had like great guitar harmonies and all of this stuff,
but then I feel like,
there was some parts where you almost felt like there was a solo that should have shown up.
What they would do in those parts is what I was saying. They would hit you with some
more melody.
No, not more melody. They'd hit you with
the melody of the song.
Like the melody of the song, or they'd hit you with something chuggier to bring you into the melody, or something like that. They were dick dodging the fact that there was a solo that should have been there.
On this album, they obviously heard my criticism, because on this album there are more solos on the record. So that to me was something that, and I don't need a 3-minute solo. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes the song does need a little bit of a flair.
Sometimes the siren calls, right?
Yeah. So they heard my complaints, and they added some solos on this record. For those of you that are wondering,
the song is very, very good. I enjoyed it.
It's one of the best of the album.
It's just. It's one of those songs where I can bob, but I'm just like sitting there like, yeah, this is
the main guitar riff is.
Oh, I love it.
It's fucking phenomenal.
I love it.
It's an earworm.
I love it.
It's an earworm.
Yeah.
It's a song that if they created an instrumental track based on that main riff, it would work phenomenally.
Perfectly.
It would work perfectly, because that riff itself just carries it. Just carries the song. You don't really need that much more
the guitar
around
melodies are good too. And like the song, for someone who hasn't heard the album yet, it's something that gets me excited to listen to the album.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard I'm gonna say a third, because that's the singles, right?
Yeah.
So you've heard about a third of the album.
Yeah.
But it's an album that what I like about this record is that it kind of starts off connecting sound-wise and vibe-wise, connects really well with the previous album. But then as the album progresses, they start introducing like some new things here and there, like new changes here and there, new elements. So there's a sense of progression.
I have noticed that, where it doesn't feel like at least what I've gotten so far, it doesn't feel like they're we're comparing to the debut record, but I was saying like what I've gotten so far, it doesn't feel like they're just like, okay, now this. It's more of like they sat back, they simmered into that other album, they got some notes from what people were saying, and then they've jumped into this.
No, I think this album is more of the DNA of who they are.
The last one was more of
where they came from.
Of where they came from, exactly. I feel
from.
like the last, and I think that's where I've been trying to get to, is the last album felt so much like, oh my God!
This is what we used to do.
This is old In Flames with some Dark Tranquility in it, and I think that's also where I felt those chugginess, not chugginess, but you know what I mean. Like the heavier parts were very old In Flames, Dark Tranquility, so they were doing a lot of that to.
I feel like this album has more of its own DNA.
To get people,
in my opinion,
it gets you to reminisce, right? Mm-hmm. So they were doing a lot of that in that old. I feel like that was that album. It was to hook you in, and now they're like, okay, now that we got your attention. This is not who we are. That's who we were.
Yeah, but I feel like
we're still
when you put together that debut album, it comes under a different set of circumstances than the follow-up record. Because you also, as an artist, you're going to look back at that record and you're going to say, okay, what worked well, what didn't work well. Okay, now that we're here, what about if we try this? What about if we do this? Let's just go with
the first record is always going to be...
The first record was exercising some
it's always the wow. It's the wow factor, and it's you going back to your youth.
But I think if you ask anybody out there, the most important album for any band is the sophomore record. Because you have your whole life to put a debut record together.
Very true.
But then the expectations and everything that comes into a sophomore record, that record is the make it or break it.
That's very true.
So I think on any band out there, and the lifespan of any band, the second record is the most important record.
First impressions always matter, but in music in general, first impressions matter, and the follow-up matters.
I think the follow-up matters even more.
Because on the third, you can...
Because if you fall flat on your face on the second one...
Then you're
one album
wonder.
Then you're done. Like your third album, nobody cares anymore, and then you're forgotten.
Because everyone was there for the first album. They're like, "Oh, the next album must be really good." You put out the next album, then it's like, "Okay, I'm done." right? Like you need to be able to be consistent within the first two. To then on the third one, if you
The
want to
third
try
one
something,
you can waffle on the third
yeah,
one.
yeah. The third one, you're like, okay, we have some songs from this album and this album that we
You can
wanna...
waffle on the third one, and then from there on you can build up. I feel like the second record.
No, you're right about
is,
that. The
is
second
the most
record is
important,
definitely very important.
the most important one. That's
But,
my opinion.
from like I said, from what I've heard from the singles, I guess, this album is seeming very, very good. I want to obviously listen to the rest of it to get my full feelings on it. But definitely my feelings of the first record were like, wow factor, getting it gets the people going type thing. But I feel like this itself is they've kind of ditched the wow factor and have been like, okay, well, this is actually like what we've created together as not as
This is the halo effect. The other one was guys who worked together before creating an album together. So
the last one was guys who've worked together, aka the halo effect. This is the halo effect.
Exactly, that's how I view it. All right, guys, let us know your thoughts, not only on the song, but what your expectations for the album are. Once again, January 10th on Nuclear Blast, the album comes out. Hit us up in the comment section. We'll see you all at the next video.
See ya.